No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You've got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Wishing you speedy recovery. And then here's where it gets interesting. Whoa! On the 10 lines.
We're going to Dayton.
All they can do is what Max Rice did right there, put his hands over his face. The Broncos, you see Marlene Trump. Leon Rice had his mouth open in amazement. Boise State heading to the first 4 in Dayton. We appreciate all you guys for joining us. My name is BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News Live, a kind of a mobile setup here. I had my house painted and haven't had a chance to put back the stuff in my office yet. So appreciate you guys for joining us. I am hungry. I am tired. I have to do laundry because now I have a flight tomorrow at noon to leave again. All things I never expected. I never thought that I would be leaving tomorrow to head to Dayton. I am just as shocked as you guys are for this. So appreciate you guys for checking us out here tonight. We'll take your comments. We'll take your questions on a day that was supposed to be a big celebration for Boise State. And it ended in frustration and it ended in disappointment. And, Leon Rice tried to put a positive spin on it. He did say, hey, the Broncos are in the tournament, and that's the most important thing. But you're going to hear from Leon Rice. You're going to hear from Tyson Degenhardt as well. It's just you guys and me tonight. Mike Prater, John Mallory, Jay Tust, all were not available tonight. We got some cool things planned throughout the week. Mike Prater will join me at 9 a.m. tomorrow before I head out. But tonight, it's just your comments and my reaction here on Bronco Nation News Live. Again, thank you to our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Again, those concrete coatings they have going on right now. Concrete coatings for your back patio, your garage, your basement, that ugly concrete slab, transform that with rowpaint.com. And they got some great deals going on right now. So check them out at roepaint.com. The interior, exterior residential painting, they've got some good deals going on for that as well. So check them out, rowpaint.com. We are heading to Dayton, and again, did not think that was happening. And you look at this, Boise State will face Colorado in Dayton. It's going to be on Wednesday night at 7:10 p.m. Mountain Time start. The one positive is Boise State is not playing Dayton. Last time they had to go to Dayton, they had to play Dayton, and it was a 98% crowd home game for them. And then it's Colorado, not Dayton. Maybe I said they're playing Dayton. Did I screw up? I apologize. They're playing Colorado in Dayton. And again, last time they were there, they played Dayton in Dayton, and that was an unfair advantage. So much so that they have now changed the rule where you cannot play a home game, and Dayton cannot play in Dayton anymore because of that. And so at least you get a neutral site game, a true neutral site game. Again, Wednesday, 7:10 p.m. is tip-off, Boise State and Dayton. Colorado, pretty tough team. It's a little tough. They're ranked higher in KenPom significantly than Boise State. They are Boise State's 39. I believe they're in the 20s. They are number 26 at KenPom. They've only lost one game in over a month. That was in the championship game to Oregon. They've had some nice wins here. They're playing pretty well. They've got multiple NBA players on their roster, but they've been a little consistent. I mean, they did lose to Colorado State earlier in the year. They lost to Arizona State. They lost to Cal. They lost to UCLA. So they've got, some losses on their schedule that are worse than Boise State, but they got a couple nice wins too. They did beat Washington State by 7. They lost to them on the road there, but they've got a pretty nice team. The KenPom number is 1 for Colorado. It has Boise State as a 1-point loss on the KenPom numbers. And again, the betting line, I think, was 2 or 2.5 for Colorado when this one opened at Circa down there in Las Vegas. So get your thoughts in, your comments. We'll get to them. Again, no one saw this coming, and the Mountain West as a whole really did. Mark Few. I don't know if we have kids watching this and what I'm allowed to say, word wise, but I thought Mark Few summed it up nicely. Mark Few saying, quote, "That's one of the worst screw jobs I've seen, man. They had a heck of a year and swept some of the teams who are 4 or 5 seeds ahead of them. That one was shocking." And that's Gonzaga coach Mark Few talking about Boise State, again, saying it's one of the worst screw jobs I've seen. And he's obviously been around for a long, long time. So it wasn't just Boise State, though. You look at New Mexico. The fact that New Mexico's an 11 seed and the committee chair later confirmed this, New Mexico would not have made the tournament if they didn't get the automatic bid. So even getting to the final yesterday, New Mexico would have been out. That would have shocked a lot of people, I think, to see New Mexico out today had they lost the championship game. Colorado State, literally the last team in the tournament. Colorado State, the last team in the tournament. And you had 4 of the 6 Mountain West teams down there on the 10 line or worse, I believe. Nevada was a 10. I guess Utah State was an 8. San Diego State gets a 5. Just some of the metrics and some of the conversation, they said, I guess the committee said that they didn't have enough out-of-conference wins. A lot of their big wins were in conference. I mean, you had Boise State, San Diego State both beating St. Mary's. You had San Diego State beating Gonzaga. You had TCU win for Nevada. You had Washington win. You had some nice wins out of conference. Creighton, 2 different Mountain West teams beat Creighton, I believe. So I don't understand it. And again, nothing against the WCC or Gonzaga or St. Mary's, but I don't understand the love for the WCC. They get 2 5 seeds. 2 teams get better seeds in the WCC than the Mountain West. That doesn't seem right at all. For Gonzaga to be a 5 when a lot of people had them in the 7, 8, 9 range, I thought was very surprising. Again, Boise State, I hate to say it, but if Boise State had lost to San Diego State, you're now saying there's a chance Boise State would not have been in the NCAA tournament. If Boise State loses that game at Viejas Arena, are they maybe not in? Because they were one of the last 4 in. All of a sudden, I saw Mike Prater tweet it. He's done worrying about the net and all that. I get it. I'm a metrics guy. I've studied this stuff. to have 6 quad 1 wins, to be 9-9 in the first 2 quadrants and be top 30 in the net and be in the last 4 in is stunning to me. I don't get it, and I can't wait to hopefully talk to the committee and find out exactly what they were looking at when they made this decision, because it just does not make a lot of sense, to be completely honest with you, when it comes to Boise State's seed and why the Broncos are where they are. So got my kids are on spring break. They're down in Florida watching the show late at night. Go to bed, kids, but love you. How you doing? Let's see. Dayton a 7 seed, make it make sense. I can't, Todd. I literally can't. Dayton, I don't think, has a single win over a team that made the field. I mean, I think their best win was St. John's, and they didn't even get in. I mean, Dayton being a 7 seed is just unbelievable. And they use the net for quad wins, though. How can they say the net doesn't matter? They didn't say the net doesn't matter. I think we're just saying it doesn't matter. So my 9-year-old Naismith's watching the show. Hey, Naismith, love you, bud. I mean, East Coast bias. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it has to be. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're not staying up late enough. Again, they said it wasn't a lot of out of conference wins. They thought the teams just kind of beat up on each other and weren't as good as they were. And you know, Alexandra, I just don't think so. I mean, they're not going to put. They don't take. They say they don't take previous years into account. I don't think they even remember who won previous years. They're not going, oh, they're 0-9. We can't give them a good seed. I really don't think they. I really don't think they look at that kind of thing. And then for Virginia to make it, Virginia's numbers are not good. I mean, Colorado State, I think, got a much better draw. They didn't want to obviously have Colorado State and Colorado play again because they played in the regular season. But I thought Colorado State gets a much better draw playing a Virginia team that has trouble scoring versus a Boise State. And, you know, I don't know. Again, San Diego State, I'm fine with them being a 5, but there is no way there's a 5 seed line difference between San Diego State and Boise State. I mean, their metrics are pretty similar. Boise State beat them twice. I'm fine with San Diego State being a 5, but then Boise State should be, 7 or 8, not a 10 and in the play-in game. So I just disappointed for them. The reaction was what it was. There's another angle of it here we can show as well. That was up front. We'll show that again for folks that came in late. I've got a side angle as well. I want to hear from Leon Rice too, because I know he wanted to say more and he didn't. But Leon Rice was pretty guarded in what he said. But let's watch the reaction video again here and see Boise State finding out the different. You see Leon Rice kind of. And you see, Marlene Tromp put her hands over her face. Here's Boise State finding out. And you saw Max Rice. He starts to celebrate. I think Max Rice thought that was going to be them. And then he sees the name and then finds out they're in the play-in game. Here's what happened about 4:30 or so this afternoon.
Speedy recovery. And then here's where it gets interesting.
We're going to Dayton on Tuesday.
Well, there you go. Just stunned reactions. You see Max Rice saying we're going to Dayton, and then Leon Rice saying, wow. This team is certainly going to have a chip on their shoulder. Here's the side reaction we had as well.
Speedy recovery. And then here's where it gets interesting.
Again, very weird. Just not what we expected. People were there to celebrate, have a great time, and then you find out, wow, they're going to the first 4. And a lot of you guys are asking about Colorado. We'll dive a lot deeper into them later, this week. But again, very talented team. They've got multiple NBA, potential draft picks. Eddie Lampkin was a star for TCU and then transferred there. They've got Tristan Da Silva, but KJ Simpson, one of the best players in America, 6'2" guard. But they've got 6'11" Eddie Lampkin, 6'9" Tristan Da Silva, 3 very, very good players. Multiple guys projected to go into the NBA. They've got Cody Williams, who's a freshman that's one of maybe their best NBA prospect. And again, they were 24-10 in the regular season. They do have wins over Washington State. They've got a win over Washington. I'm trying to see who else. They lost both times they played Arizona. They did see here. They did lose to Florida State. They lost to Colorado State. Again, they lost to Cal, lost to Arizona State. I mean, they've lost. UCLA, certainly the team's worse than Boise State. So they're a very talented team. They've underachieved a little bit. I've seen some people saying the comparison to Memphis. Not quite sure I'd go that far. There's somebody just said it. Colorado's a lot like Memphis team. I mean, yes, but I don't think they have quite the individual talent that Memphis had. But there are some similarities there that they just kind of didn't have the regular season that a lot of people thought. But they're one of the hottest teams in America. Again, they had won like 9 games in a row. They've only lost 1 game in the last month. Colorado's a very good team, and you would have much rather played Virginia, I think, in that matchup. But again, they couldn't have Colorado and Colorado State play again, or they could have, just didn't want to do that since they played again in the regular season. Number 1 draft pick in some mock drafts for Cody Williams. He's the freshman. Yeah, he's a heck of a player there. So that is certainly going to be, again, not only are you going to Dayton, all of a sudden you got to play, a good team in Colorado, and this matches up Leon Rice with Tad Boyle, his best friend, and again, this is just not something that I think anybody saw coming. And again, according to Mark Few, one of the worst screw jobs he's seen. So, he's obviously close with Leon Rice, but he's watched a lot of his games and didn't think that was, something that they expected to be seeing. And I think as Carson kind of sums it up, wow, just wow. And that is right, Carson, to see what happened. That was ridiculous. We should have been ranked so much higher. Hunter Chapman, 4 hours later, and I'm still pissed. I think a lot of people feel the same way. No way are we a number 10 seed. We punished them because of our conference, despite how much the hold the Mountain West was this year. Let's see what else we got here. I think the decision makers look at real hard at end of season momentum. If they do that, I mean, Boise State played pretty well down the stretch. They won like either the last 10 games or whatever. So I think. I mean, just because they lost their last game, they went to the pit and won right before Viejas Arena and won right before that. So I don't think that's the reason they dropped down. Let's see here. The only good thing, I guess, is that they do play a Florida team that just lost one of their better players in the tournament. It's in Indianapolis. It's only about a 2-hour drive if they win to advance. And I think it's happened almost every year. I don't remember if it did last year or not, but a team that wins the play-in game usually goes on to win another game or two. I mean, I think VCU made it all the way to the Final Four from the play-in game. So it helps. You saw what New Mexico did, won that first game against Air Force, had the momentum and beat Boise State. Well, if Boise State can get by Colorado, it might help them out and they try to advance in this tournament. Now you have the debate, does the first 4 count? Some of you that are not big Leon Rice fans or like to point to the negative stuff will say it does not count. So even if they win, they'll say it doesn't count as their first ever win. Again, the NCAA says differently. They get paid a full unit share for that game. They get credit in the rule books as a win. It is 100% a win, but I know that won't be enough for some of you to count it as the first win. And that's, it is what it is. But unfortunately, that is the situation with it. Yep, VCU made the Final Four a few years ago as a first 4 team. Yep, a lot of upsets this weekend. Yeah, there were a lot of conference tournament upsets, which pushed some teams down. And again, if New Mexico would not have beaten San Diego State, the committee chairman said New Mexico was out. Think about the outrage there would have been in Albuquerque and some of the other places if they didn't make the tournament and they got all the way to the championship. I mean, that's just crazy to think about. Again, Colorado State, literally the last team in. If there had been one more bid fee, Colorado State would have been out. So people are counting 0-9 as the losses. If you include the losses, you got to include the wins. Derek, I totally agree with you on that. Let's see if VCU can do it. We can do it as well. Was Colorado a bubble team? Seems like they were kind of seated lower than expected to. Yeah, they were on the bubble. There was a lot of people that I don't know if necessarily thought about Dayton, but they certainly were on the bubble too. There were some people going into the last couple of days saying they weren't sure if they were going to get in or not. So I think they were. Got to win before you argue if it's a tourney win or not. I agree. Got to win on Wednesday. Let's hear from Leon Rice, Boise State head coach. Leon Rice talking to the media. This is a short time after the selection.
Well, a little surprised, to be honest. I mean, I don't think anyone had us projected there. I thought that we'd be a higher seed because, 2 things that were emphasized, the schedule that you put together and then winning games on the road, and we did both of those. But hey, we're grateful. We're in the greatest sporting event there is, and pretty familiar with Colorado. Tad's one of my best friends in the business and in the world, and now we get to play each other. So there we go.
You talked a bunch about that schedule during the season, how it was going to pay dividends. Do you feel like almost cheated in that sense that you play that tough schedule and that you got a lower seed?
It makes you wonder about scheduling. If that really is important, or is it more important to win by 30 or 40? I mean that. Who knows? But we had a great net. We did our work, and we're in the tournament. And there's a lot of teams that right now would trade places with us, and our guys are excited. Dayton's a great place. They come out and support, and you're the first teams playing, and so it's exciting.
And you're not playing Dayton.
Right, and it's good. It's not a home game, no doubt, or a road game like we did. I think it was last time we played there. So. Our guys are excited. Now there's a quick turnaround. We got to get on the road quickly, and that's I certainly probably didn't plan on that.
The Mountain West in general, Colorado State was literally the last team in. Looked like New Mexico would have been in trouble if they didn't win the tournament. I mean, a little surprised, I guess, after all year the praise the Mountain West got, that it looks like they maybe didn't think you guys as highly as some thought.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher a little bit, But I'd love to know what goes on in that room, because I don't know what they were looking at or what things hurt. Our league as far as, but it also might be when you're putting together the bracket, you got to keep those teams away from each other, all that stuff that maybe affects seeds and changes lines a little bit. But like I said, hey, it's a great tournament, and we're in it. We're excited to play.
Going to the silver lining, maybe teams have done fairly well coming out of Dayton. They get that first game, they play well, they move on. We look at what New Mexico did this past week at the Mountain West. So how can you make it a positive?
Like I said, it's the advantage nobody wants. It's like down at the conference tournament. It is an advantage to have played a game and the other team hasn't. But you don't want to play. You'd like to have more time to prep. But here we go.
Is there any advantage in the fact that this is your third straight tournament? There really shouldn't be too many surprises for you and your guys. You've been to Dayton before. Max has been to Dayton before. The familiarity, things like that. Is there any little advantage maybe to that?
I think just being in the tournament is an advantage when you've done it more than once, and because when you first get there, your first time, you're just so grateful to be there. Well, when you've been there a few more times, you feel a little more prepared and a little more knowing what to expect.
You guys have played pretty well when you've had that chip on the shoulder, that backs against the wall kind of mentality, coming off a tough loss, next game, whatever. I mean, do you feel like these guys are, I know you're always fired up to play in the NCAA tournament, but
sure.
To prove people wrong or whatever, they're going to have a big chip?
I think that's kind of what we've had all year long, and it seems like the disrespect has been consistent. We've got second in a league that's a 6-bid league, and you get that good of a league and you get second in it and that low of a seed, it's a head scratcher. But it's nothing new for us, and we just got to put that on our backs and take it on the road with us.
How do you, the guys were pretty silent there, obviously not expecting that. How do you get them going and focus back on
they'll be focused and they'll be excited to go, and there's pros and cons to everything, but the biggest thing is we're in the tournament, and there's always going to be surprises on this day, and there's some teams that thought they were getting in and they're in tears now, and their season's over basically, and ours isn't. We had a great practice today. We're ready to go.
When you look at Colorado, you said you've seen them play just about every game they played. So give us a little bit of a scouting report. What did they do best? Maybe what's given them trouble in the games they've lost?
They've got 3 guys that are projected in the NBA draft next year. I mean, they're a talented team. And they're one of the hottest teams right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the Pac-12. They made it to the championship game, and Tad and his staff do such a tremendous job. And, they seem to be playing their best basketball right now. And they got versatile guards. They got size. They can shoot. I mean, there's not a lot of weaknesses with this team. They really, they're really guarding too.
Has Tad texted you yet?
I haven't looked. I'm sure we'll talk. Like I said, we coached USA basketball the last 2 years together, and we've known each other a long time. And I consider him one of my best friends, and you know, there's 68 other options, and you're playing one of your best friends. That's crazy.
You mentioned the quick turnaround. I think you guys leave tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're gonna. It's a quick turnaround, and so we got a lot to do. You know, you got to get the scouting reports, you got to get your practices organized, and get your team up to speed on what, because you know we know them, and some of my players know them, but you know, as far as game plan, all that stuff, they have no idea yet.
You have the saying, Leon, let the fur fly. Straight up, I don't know where you really get that from, but we're at the time.
Dean Nicholson, yeah.
Well, we're at the time of year where I guess it is just time to let the fur fly.
It is, and you just it's just like, you know, when you get at, you know, into the NCAA tournament or, you know, even conference tournament, it's just who plays really good that day. And sometimes it's, you know, you got to make shots, you got to, you know, you got to do all the things that you do well, and the team that can do that advances.
Well, there he is, Leon Rice, talking about playing Colorado in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Let's take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll hear from Tyson Degenhart. Got some news on the women's basketball team as well. They're going to the postseason, so a lot still to get to. We're back in 90 seconds here on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. Back here on Bronco Nation News Live, a special Sunday edition here on Selection Sunday, talking about Boise State going to the NCAA tournament. Not the draw that many expected. They will face Colorado in Dayton in the first 4 on Wednesday night. Again, tip-off is at 7:10 p.m. on True TV. Broncos will be the only game in the country going on. Some exposure for the Broncos, and got to try to find a silver lining on that. Congratulations are in order, to Gordy Presnell and the women's basketball team. They are headed to the postseason as well. They have accepted an invitation to the WNIT. So the WNIT Boise State women are in. They find out tomorrow who they're going to play, but they announced the 48 teams that are in the tournament. I guess they're working on dates for the arenas and just scheduling and things. But the Boise State women will find out tomorrow their seed and their opponent, but they are in, and they are going to the postseason. A nice step forward for Gordy Presnell and company as they continue to build the program after a couple, 8-win season. I think went up to 17. I think they got to 22 this year, and now they'll get to add to it and get some extra practices for the postseason. Again, full bracket will be out tomorrow, but the Boise State women heading to the WNIT. The regular NIT, the men's side, I shouldn't say regular, but the men's NIT, that bracket is also out. 6 teams that Boise State played during the regular season: VCU, North Texas, Virginia Tech, Butler. I'm forgetting one. There are 6 teams in that Boise State played. San Francisco, and the other one is UNLV. So UNLV makes it 7 Mountain West teams going to either the Big Dance or the NIT. And again, Boise State going to have a lot of common opponents in the NIT there with all the teams that they played in the NIT. So again, not what Boise State expected, but they're in, and there is some something you got to be be excited about it. Try to have a positive attitude. I know you guys said you had 4 hours to think about it and you're still mad. I get it. It's not ideal, but there are some silver linings. Again, you're the only game on in the country, and I'll have to go add it up and find the stat, but I believe somebody from the first 4 has gone on to win at least the next round game, like literally almost every year. And a lot of times teams get to the Sweet 16 because you just have that momentum and you keep it going. And, it's going to be tough. Waiter says the guard play is the key. Hopefully they can bring it. Cody Williams is legit. Yeah, he's a first-round draft pick. And then De Silva and Eddie Lampkin are beasts too. So they've got some good players, but, Boise State has some good players as well. So great seed for the women. Gotten bad seeding in the past, BSU that is. So happy to see that the women got into the WNIT there for sure. Tyson Degenhart, he also talked to the media. Let's hear a little bit from Tyson Degenhart on Boise State going to the first round of the NCAA tournament, where they will play in the first 4 on Wednesday night against Colorado.
I thought our resume was a little bit better than the committee gave us credit for, but it just has another chip to our shoulder.
You guys have played pretty well when that's been the case. And you feel like this team's going to come out even more motivated to prove people wrong than if you were just in the regular bracket?
Absolutely. I think it gives us a chance to travel and great opportunity ahead of us. It's not the opportunity that we might have expected, but we'll take whatever we can get.
We saw the shocked reaction on you and your teammates' faces. Just kind of what's going through your head at that moment when your name's called?
We kind of had an idea we'd be in the 7-10 or the 8-9 probably, but it's definitely not the 10 seed that we would have expected to be with the first 4, but it's just the way things go.
What have you learned about playing in the NCAA tournament the 2 years you've gone?
The main thing is you can't get down early. We got down early to Memphis, we got down early to Northwestern, and we couldn't dig ourselves out of those holes, and that's the main thing.
How much does it put a chip on your guys' shoulder?
It puts a big chip on our shoulder. I think the San Diego State got the right seed, but I think the rest of the Mountain West got disrespected in what seed they got. I thought, Utah State was more of a 6 than an 8, and even Nevada I thought was probably like in 7, 8, maybe even a 9, but that's just the way things go.
To go for a third straight year to the NCAA tournament, for you to be on that team every time and make history, I know the news is a little surprising, but how exciting is it to achieve that goal?
It's a huge accomplishment for this program to be on the uptrend, and we got a great opportunity ahead of us to make even more history on Wednesday.
Yeah, is it on your guys' mind? It's like the one thing in the history of this program that hasn't the last box that needs to be checked.
It's been one of our goals since we started, had to run on campus in June, was to win a tournament game, and I think we have the team to do it, and we have a great opportunity ahead of us.
What do you know anything at all about Colorado yet?
I know we played them last year, but that's a lot of the same pieces from them, and great 3-point shooting team, and there's a lot of familiarity between our coaching staff and theirs, so it should be a lot of fun.
You guys get home Saturday, I want to say. Just what are the challenges with this turnaround now, man? You guys are going to be on the court in 2 days playing in the NCAA tournament.
I'm glad we practiced today because I don't think any of us expect to be in the first 4, but when life throws you a curveball, you got to be ready for it, and we had a great practice today, and I'm excited to travel tomorrow.
All this being said, by the time you wake up tomorrow, the frustration probably will have moved on. How excited are you to step on the floor again in the NCAA tournament?
I'm going to be really excited. Third time around. Let's hope third time's the charm.
There he is, Tyson Degenhart. Appreciate him for his time. Thanks to Nate Lowry, everybody over at Boise State. Thanks to Boise State for letting us hang out there and watch the reaction. I don't think they expected that to be the reaction, or they may not have let us watch. But, it is what it is. And I'll tell you what, this team is going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be fired up, and they're going to be extremely motivated. I know you're always motivated when you go in the NCAA tournament, but I think they are ready to prove some people wrong, going to play with that chip on their shoulder, and I would think this is certainly going to be a tough game, but a game that they no doubt can find a way to win. So going to be exciting. I've got to do laundry. I've got to pack. I did not expect to be leaving tomorrow, but I am now flying out tomorrow, so got a lot to get done here in the next few hours. There is a full story already up online, BroncoNationNews.com, quotes from Leon Rice, quote from Mark Few, all the details on the numbers and why Boise State thought they should have been a higher seed. You can check that out, BroncoNationNews.com. I do want to throw in a plug here. This trip is way more expensive than we thought it is. I was not expecting to have to go to Dayton. So flight prices, rental car, super expensive. So if you're able to subscribe and help us out, we would certainly love it. There is, whether it's, if you're able to help donate to the cause, I guess, even if you are a subscriber, we would love to have you do that. Bronco Nation News, could certainly use the support. So support the sponsors, help keep everybody happy. And, we're not expecting to be going to Dayton, and this is going to be a, $1,500 or more trip that we're expecting it to be a little cheaper. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about subscribing, we would love for you to do that. Just $50 for a full year. And we can do that with the promo code at the bottom, BNN 50 deal. I think there is actually on the website just a straight donate link. If you're interested in helping out, I can probably just get you the Venmo instead for Bronco Nation News. That might be easier, if you're able to and would like to. But certainly, we're going. I don't know what other media is going. I think Jay Tuss is going, and that might be it. We'll see if any of the other media travel to the tournament or not. But Bronco Nation News will be there. We're not missing it at all, but certainly going to cost a little bit of money for this trip. So hopefully you guys are appreciative of that and can return the favor by subscribing and by supporting the sponsors and letting them know that their money is helping make this happen. So no, I am not flying Spirit or Allegiant. I would never do that. But we're excited. We're going. We'll have full coverage on Tuesday of all the press conference and the open practice. We'll have coverage all day Wednesday, live shows Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday from Dayton. Really looking forward to it. But Dayton is not cheap to get to and not on 12 hours notice. So it is what it is. And again, if you're able to subscribe, we certainly would appreciate that. And thank you for that if you're able to help us out and join Bronco Nation News. Because as I said, I believe KTVB and Jay Test are going, but I don't know if any other media is actually going to this now. So we are excited to give you the coverage, and hopefully you guys think it's worthy enough to want to subscribe. BroncoNationNews.com, and then just put in the promo code that you see at the bottom of the screen, BNN 50 deal, and you get a whole year for $50. So Mike Prater will join me at 9 a.m. tomorrow before I fly out. We'll have another live show. We're going to sleep on it tonight. And we'll give you a little more information on Colorado, get Mike Prater's thoughts on the matchup. We'll take your thoughts as well. 9 a.m. tomorrow, Mountain Time on Bronco Nation News Live. And then I will head to the airport and head for actually going to Indianapolis tomorrow night. The cheapest option, the best option was to go straight to Indianapolis because if Boise State wins, then they'll be going to Indianapolis anyway. So for the car rental to return it at the same place you got it, we're flying to Indianapolis and then staying the night there. And then driving Tuesday morning down to Dayton. It's about 2 hours, I believe. So, not ideal for anybody. Certainly not ideal for the media and what that's going to cost us to get down there and the time that it's going to take to get there. But it is what it is. But we'll be there. We'll give you all the coverage at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. So live coverage for multiple days and a lot of coverage coming, exclusive coverage you won't get anywhere else. And we'll kick off NCAA tournament week tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Mike Prater as we continue to get you set and break down this matchup. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live coverage from the road. And hopefully Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if they can keep winning. So appreciate you guys. Tell your friends. Go subscribe if you can. Again, BNN 50 deal. Don is asking about the donate link. That's very nice of you, Don. I believe it is still up there. Let me just check real quick. I would actually probably prefer we just do the Venmo. I believe the Venmo is just at Bronco Nation News. If you see the logo on there, if you're able to help us out, $20, $30, it all adds up, and we'll see if we can throw you a gift card or something to return the favor for anybody that donates. Maybe a little bit of money to help us out, but we could certainly use the help. And let's see here. I'm going to go check this out real quick while we're talking, just so I can say it. Appreciate you guys for asking and for hanging on here. Looks like it is at Bronco Nation News, just on Venmo. At Bronco Nation News is the Venmo. I believe if you go to the subscribe page, I believe there is an option too on the subscribe page that you can, it says donate to support our coverage. So there is a link on there to donate. If you feel so inclined to help us out with $5 or $10, we would really appreciate that because as I said, and maybe anyone that donates will throw your name in a hat for a Tyson Degenhart mini basketball that we have. How about that? anyone that's willing to help us out, we'll throw in a Tyson Degenhart mini basketball, some other gift cards and things, and we'll try to see if we can make it worth it to you. So appreciate all you guys. You certainly don't have to. I'm not on here begging. I appreciate all you for commenting, for watching, and those of you that already subscribe, I really appreciate it. That'd be the easiest way, is just to have the folks that are not subscribers just subscribe. We'd love to have you join us, and that'd be an easiest way to help get a little extra money for this trip. But if you are so inclined, there is a link button on the subscribe page, and there is a Venmo option as well at Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys. We're going to the tournament no matter what. Can't wait to get there and give you guys the coverage you deserve. 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll kick it off with Mike Prater. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk to you in the morning. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.